Hello, and welcome to the Elemental I Ching. And today we're going to drink in GK40, the shadow of exhaustion, and the gift of resolve, in the city, the essence of divine will. And in the I Ching, in the Elemental I Ching, this is called deliverance or liberation. And it's the image of the arousing thunder above and the abysmal river, the river of devotion, the waters beneath. And it's usually talked about as a thunderstorm, and this like cataclysmic arousing thunder, the change, the dynamism, the spark of creation, of initiation, is igniting the realms from heaven, and the waters of devotion, of commitment, of communicating from that deep loving, heartfelt, trusting, flowing space of the earth, of the water in the earthly trigram and the bottom trigram. I love this image of the thunderbolt creating, our challenges in our life, these great cataclysms. They explode and they erupt and they create canals, they create the riverbeds, they break open our life, they break us open in order for the waters of devotion to flow through. And I was, drinking in this image from the original I Ching translations, and there's this beautiful story about the thunder cracks open the seeds so that new life will spring up later. It's these challenges in life that actually break open, they bring to the surface energies that need to unwind, to unfold. So in the shadow of exhaustion, like feeling the exhaustion of our bodies, or mentally, or creatively, or spiritually, or romantically, when do we feel drained? When do we feel empty and easily walked on? Or when are we trying to force our project or our mission or a relationship or what we want out without enough support from the universe, from our allies, to actually carry that effortlessly? We just feel like we're just hitting hard, difficult walls, and we can feel exhausted. And it's the agitation of half-heartedness. We're not fully committing to something or fully trusting in life to take us where our devotion is headed. So we get agitated and try to force the situation and thus exhaust ourselves, or we feel agitated and so we just give up and we just let our half-heartedness guide us where the next decision is, and we just get taken advantage of by others, because this is a key about will, divine will and resolve, the resolve to say no from a deeply rooted, relaxed place. The divine no. If it's not the river for you to jump in, it's dangerous for you to play at the banks of half-heartedness. And it'll agitate you. So there's this resolve, this healthy boundaries in relationship, in community, in work, in the day-to-day reality. There's a difference between that resistance and resolve. Like, we have to fully go into the initiation of our commitment, the initiative to take commitment. And we have to trust our commitments once we go down that river, and it may bring up challenge. But this thunderstorm is brewing, is breaking open pieces so that I can see myself even more clearly and follow that devotion. Because from a place of true relaxation, cellular relaxation, the effortlessness of life shows the next step. This is divine will in action. The awakening through devotion. It's this brilliant moment where we trust. When I can trust in life's flow, all of the sparks of creativity naturally align themselves. I've been sick for a week now. I'm just on the edge. This liberation key, this is rocking my system, cracking me open. But I've been in a few days of ecstatic creativity. The thunder of my giving has just been wanting to pour itself into some really exciting changes for Wonderland and for my work in the world, and for honestly, for the prayer that I get to be a vessel and a conduit for who I am and the medicine that I bring to the world, and beyond me, to give for generations beyond my lifetime. I've been really feeling into this great new doorway after this eclipse that has opened for me, that's clarified things that have been brewing for a long time. So this thunderstorm of, say, a sickness, for me, it's like cracking these things open and bringing them to the surface. Or a thunderstorm with a friendship, when you get real riled up by something. You know, we've been working through these keys like dishonesty to intimacy, right? And half-heartedness to devotion. It's like these are some powerful relational, that whole ring of union, these relational keys have been getting things up to the surface. It's like the thunderstorm finally cracks and brings new rain to our life, you know, allowing this clap of thunder of changes occurring, and then let the river of devotion wash us clean. That's for me what this key. And in the I Ching, in these elemental codes, the thunder is a wood energy. And the Chinese elemental, Chinese medicine and the alchemy of the five elements, the wood energy, which relates to the liver, and the water relates to the kidneys and the bladder. And one of my dear allies and teachers in Qigong and medical Qigong, Brother David, he talks about how his Sifu is described and how he has worked with the bully of the liver. You know, the shadow aspect of the liver bullies the kidneys. And it's this drive to force a situation instead of trusting and relaxing into divine will's current, into what is next. So we have this over-adrenalized culture that's bullying our own system of energy, of like, this is my chi, this is, you know, the jing that's held in the kidneys, and this life force, this primal life force. And where do I let myself drain out that energy? Through relationships, through my half-heartedness and my agitation, right? I exhaust my own resources by giving away my power to others or to situations, to victimize myself to the situation. And the liver that needs to, that's the general that's wanting me to do the work in the world, that is gonna build and cultivate chi and the dragon energy of that liver. It just beats on my own adrenal system, on the kidneys. This last time I went to Peru, that was exactly what I was working on in my body for 2 months with a beautiful plant called Chancapiedra, and replenishing my kidneys, just where my aspiration, you know, my desire to do great work in the world, I would just push and push and push and burn up all this, my own life force energy, instead of cultivating and circulating the endless life that I can find through my nourishment, through food and exercise and life and music and art and the universal chi that surrounds all of us. You know, this prenatal chi, this deep jing that is a precious resource. And we're human. I'm human, so eventually that resource can get overworked. And so it's coming into balance with this wood and water energy in the body as well. So I was feeling into this as we open into the resolve, right? The wood energy, the bully, needs to be taught to stop bullying, to stop like grasping for that energy, and instead actually use the circulation of all my organs in my body to nourish and to really digest the minerals of life, and clear out the toxins that aren't letting me really drink in the nourishment of life. And the kidneys, as David says, you can't just give the kid more lunch money. The bully will just keep beating him up. You have to work with both sides. And so, you know, really cultivating, giving more pennies in the piggy bank to my kidneys, like doing more of this Qigong practice as I've kind of coming through this respiratory phase of healing. I can replenish my body where I've overworked that system, and teach it to stand up for itself, resolve, to tell myself, no, like, what am I really doing right now? Am I forcing this situation, even out of excitement and joy and all that, but like secretly there's a fear that's pushing against trusting life's rhythms. Slow down. Let the banks of the river, the no, you know, the banks of the river are the no of the river. It's saying the water will fit within this yes, and it'll flow effortlessly through that yes. The water doesn't need to carve the next river right next door. It's like it already has a pathway of least resistance, carved through great change, and over time, we forge new rivers, but we can't force that energy. You know, we need life, we need to be in harmony in that wu wei, that harmony with life. And so I cherish the lessons of this key, of the divine no. So in relationships, you know, whether our deepest partnership or just someone that you just meet on the street, to honor the values of where your cell membrane says no, to check in constantly, like the 59, this constant consent conversation with life, to have the resolve to say, hold on, I need a moment, I need to pause, I need to contain, I need a different container for this. And not overcommitting my energy. It's like, actually, that would exhaust me if I said yes to that project or that need or that external circumstance. Actually, I need to honor my body and say no and let that be a greater yes. Because if I'm half-hearted and I say yes to you, and I'm exhausted and can't accomplish the goal that we set out to do, I'm hurting both of us. I'm getting drained, and you're not getting what you asked for. But if I say no, then maybe you'll naturally flow to where there is a genuine yes. And I love this in creative collaborations. There are limited resources to our time and our energy. There is a reality. We have to be fiscally responsible with our energy and time. Love is endless, and I can be generous with my loving presence. I can drop into a moment that is eternally loving. But I also need to honor the relationship with my own body, with my own earth, with my root chakra energies. The no to help me flow more generously, more devoted, with greater commitment to exactly what I'm saying yes to. And of course challenges will arise. That thunder is going to bring change, and it's going to test our resolve. And it's an important discernment to listen. Is this resistance because of fear, and I actually need to say yes to this moment and dive into the heart of the river? Or is this dynamic change reminding me that I need to actually say no and only say yes, only say that brilliant yes to exactly what is correct for my body? And I might not understand completely why it's a yes. Sometimes I have to say yes into the unknown, but my body responds. What is correct for you? Beyond even what the mind will logically say to the yes or to the no. Because this is the realization of proper communication. It's the spiritual insights, the flash of thunder that allows us to communicate with resolve, including our yes and including our no, our healthy, happy, so loving no. And can we be a culture again that respects healthy dialogue, that respects the alchemy of I'm triggered and I'm a no, but that I don't have to lose respect for you because we're on different sides. I'm really working on loving past intolerance, of loving past my rage, of loving past my insecurities or my curmudgeon that just wants to hide away and not change. And respect each other exactly where we're at, and yet hold divine will, this highest devotion, this awakening to devotion that can be at great relaxed ease with whatever's going on. I may not agree with you, but I don't have to get agitated at that division. I can actually choose to circulate my own agitation, to circulate my rage, to find the thunder of my giving that will actually awaken a devotion past this confusing moment of conflict. This resolve is from a relaxed place. It's not clenched resolve. It's not, oh, I'm going to make it through. We have to be one with the waterfall or it will crush us. I found that out so many times in my life of like, if I resist this, I will be crushed by the very sensations running through my body. And instead I highlight the experience and I become very present with my intensity that I'm experiencing. The lightning, the thunder is intense sometimes. The river is intense sometimes. This is deliverance. This is the longing out to heaven and finally hearing the clap of thunder that's terrifying and yet brings us the new rain. So we relax into divine will, into that there is no separation, that there's not even a wrong choice on one degree, trusting that all of our decisions are guiding us back home into life, into love. And the best we can do is show up to each choice with that awakened lucidity, with the thunder of our giving, to commit, yes or no, to follow left or right on this crazy labyrinth, this maze of life. And so I just want to share that and share my thanks and my gratitude to everyone as we navigate our relationships, our work opportunities, our contracts. Divine resolve understands the intimacy of the contract and the weight that we take on when we half-heartedly commit to something that's actually draining. It's important to not get into the tub with an energy that is not suited for your truth. And that doesn't disconnect us from the service of love and the infinite water that's available to us. So what is the divine no teaching you this week? What is the spark of heaven, the change and cataclysms of challenge going to open new vaults, new pathways for the waters of your devotion to flow? I'm excited to hear people's stories and people's comments as we explore, what is divine will asking of me today? How can I relax into this symphony and discover that there is no wrong note? That's the brilliance of jazz. There is no wrong note. It's all about what is the note you're going to play next. To trust in each of these changes as an opportunity to dance with the music of life. Many blessings.